Yes.
But in reality, I actually got myself in a position where I promised my parents a certain amount of money every month. So
Okay.
if I don't deliver, I don't have kids, but I have my parents,
Yeah,
you know?
parents.
So, and then I did that intentionally just because um, I knew that I needed that, not necessarily to push myself because I feel like I already had the drive. But
Correct.
I think that the reason why I did that is because once the motivation is gone,
Mm-hmm.
you have the responsibility that follows,
Of
you know?
course. But yeah,
Yeah.
the reason why I wanted to I think I came across you. So I'm recalling I came across you because were you by any chance at Andy's event in Modesto?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that's where
Yeah.
I came across you because I was there, and then I went ahead and
Mm,
tried to see who was there and who like I kind of I don't want to say studied, but like admired because I really like your content. I really like how you come off, especially on social media, because that's kind of obviously that's kind of the character I have of you before this. But
yeah.
that's probably that was the first initial interaction. So then I want to reach
Yeah.
out because I really like how you use your platform and just even
Thank you.
now explaining like you're a real estate professional says a lot too because you're trying to push the boundaries. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Of course. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
for reaching out. And
Yeah.
yeah, I've met a lot of wonderful people through Andy. A lot.
Awesome. Yeah, he's such a great guy. He's he's definitely a really good leader. I like what he's doing with his team, and
Yeah.
time will tell when he really hits it off. So, but
Mm,
yeah, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about just the current circumstances, how you're maneuvering it. Um, I'm a very avid learner of like psychology and human behavior. So things like
okay.
this is really testing our human instincts on how we adapt and how we move forward,
Hmm.
whether it's from emotion based like fear or anxiety, or some people
Yeah.
actually are very optimistic. They see a lot of opportunity during these times.
Like
However,
me.
exactly, no, definitely. So I kind of want to talk about that. How first things first. Do you have a family of your own?
No, I don't. I don't have a family on my own.
Oh,
Like, no. I just, just the regular family, parents,
yeah,
siblings.
yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, I don't have any children of my own
Okay.
yet.
Yeah. Do you have any like close relatives who do have like a family, kids growing up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do. They're
relatives.
like, I have a lot. I have a big family,
Yeah,
like huge. And I'm like the
yeah.
oldest
Oh,
from
really?
my dad's side. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's a lot of pressure. A lot of
definitely.
pressure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you notice uh I don't want to put people in general stigmas, but do you feel like maybe people that have a family, you might be reacting it to different compared to someone who does have a family that's supposed of five, who has to put consistent food on
Mm.
the table for their kids? Do you feel like any difference at all?
Mm. You know what? One
Yeah.
of the things that I always get is from my family, from my friends that do have a family of their own, is just to just do everything and keep on doing anything and everything I want to do just because I don't have a family yet.
Correct.
But I feel that yes, of course, I have. There's a big difference because I don't have to necessarily be like, oh, I have to feed my kids, you know.
Yes.
But in reality, I actually got myself in a position where I promised my parents a certain amount of money every month. So
Okay.
if I don't deliver, I don't have kids, but I have my parents,
Yeah,
you know?
parents.
So, and then I did that intentionally just because um, I knew that I needed that, not necessarily to push myself because I feel like I already had the drive. But
Correct.
I think that the reason why I did that is because once the motivation is gone,
hmm
you have the responsibility that follows,
Of
you know?
course.
So
Yes.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. So in a sense, yes, it is kind of different the way that I'm reacting.
hmm
Whereas if I had my own family, I'm pretty sure I'll be more overprotective.
Correct.
But I'm kind of like the type of person that I like to learn from people's mistakes,
Yes.
and I'm
Yes.
always an observer. So
Okay.
sometimes if I was to meet you in person, I would probably not talk to you at first, just because I'm trying to get a feel of how you are, what you're about,
Definitely.
and then I'll be like, all right, now we can talk. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
So So yeah, I mean, just to answer your question, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm handling it different just
Yeah.
because I'm not a mom yet.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean I don't think I would be handling any different if I had a child, to be
Definitely.
honest with you.
Yeah. No, I mean, you explained it very well because, and the reason I asked was because I have talked to other people who like, they fully admit to the fact that, my situation is different. Maybe someone who has a family might be reacting it too differently, or maybe vice versa. You know what I mean? It all depends on maybe your upbringing, your mindset, things like that. So regardless, like you said, if you were a mother, you might have the same mindset. You still have to do what you need to do to provide and whatnot. You're providing to your parents right now. So, I like
Yeah.
how you said that. Even though you're not a
Yeah.
mother or have a family, like we'll call it a typical family, but you
Yeah.
do have your parents that you promised, and what you said is you put yourself in this position to deliver. So no,
Yeah.
definitely. Have you
And
always?
they,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No,
I
no,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, and they do call you out, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Because
So
you definitely
your
hold yourself.
child is probably small, your child, and they can't really say much for your parents.
Exactly. No, yeah,
Yeah.
they hold you to the same standard you hold yourself, or even more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're definitely there. So now, do you what was like your upbringing like? Like, how was your mindset, and what are some things that you could take away from your childhood that you're implementing right now? I know you mentioned like the whole observer, which is
Mhm.
actually a really good skill. Um,
Mhm.
what is another skill that you find yourself utilizing right now that may have been instilled from your upbringing?
Um. Well, I can tell you that I am pretty mature for my age. I feel like I when I was a little girl, I had to grow up like super fast.
Okay.
So I guess a little background about that is I was born and raised in Michoacan, Mexico.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I came to the United States when I was turning 10. It was on April 2002 when
Hmm.
I came. So basically, during this time while I was over there in Mexico, my
Hmm.
dad was over here in the United States. So he would go to Mexico once a year, and that's all I had. That's all the time I had to see my dad.
Definitely.
Um, and then one thing that I remember super vividly is when my dad, one time he was coming over here to the United States, I think I was like 5 or 6.
Hmm.
And he told me, he's like, hey, so you're the oldest. So you're in charge. If your brothers mess up, you make sure you fix
Yeah.
it. Because if
Yeah.
I come home and there's something wrong with your brothers, it's your fault. And I was like,
Definitely.
what?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I kind of like, I took that so literally that if you were to meet my siblings, you would see, they would tell you that I was part of their upbringing and I was part of like, I was like their second mom,
Definitely.
you know, and then you can see like how much respect they had towards me, so you can imagine how it was.
Yes. Yes.
I was
Definitely.
very very strict on them, so I feel like just the absence of my dad when he was over here in the United States, I feel like that made me grow up and mature like super fast. Like I was already 6 years old,
Wow.
and I was already feeling like I was the boss of everybody,
Wow. Yeah.
so I think that had a huge impact on me, definitely.
Definitely. No, I love that insight because
Mm.
I mean, like you mentioned, you're the oldest. You were pretty much the leader. You were given the leadership role from the get-go. That's something you don't get to choose.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
what you mentioned right now, I bet I can see how you utilize that now, especially in your profession and as a citizen. So I appreciate that and admire that from you. Now, do you feel like um, things like this, and I'm referring to like a pandemic like this,
Hmm.
is a test to excel in those skills? And do you find yourself kind of like like just to give you some context, the other day, yesterday, I posted a video about like fear, how sometimes we're instinctual animals. The human
Hmm.
race, we're animalistic. We have fears,
Yeah.
we have anxieties, right? It's also due
Yeah.
to our part of survival and evolution basis kind of embedded in our DNA. So I
Hmm.
found myself telling people, don't be scared during this time, or I find my friends telling each other, don't be scared. Like fear is the bigger virus here. Fear is more contagious than this virus, right? But then
Yeah.
I started thinking, like, you can't really unteach the fear that we've been embedded, right? So instead of just telling someone, don't be scared, we got to teach these skills, right? So
Yeah.
is there any way where you might have felt fear during these times, and how did you override that by excelling and using those skills you mentioned? Does that make
Mm,
sense?
yeah, it actually it makes perfect sense. But you know what? To be honest with you, I have the fear this whole pandemic thing just
Yes.
yet. Like I haven't yet. But the reason for that is because in like one of the there's many I guess there's many a lot of mantras I live by, right?
Okay.
One
Yeah.
of them being that momentum is jealous.
Mm.
So momentum is very jealous as soon as
Explain
you
that.
pay attention to something else. So
Yeah.
like for example, like when it comes down to business, like in my type of business, you make sure that every single day you're doing activities that are going to get you to the next lead, which I don't like calling them leads. I automatically just call them clients.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's like you have to do an activity every single day for you to be able to go and get and help the next client.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I that's what the momentum is, the activity behind every action that's going to lead to you producing results.
Correct.
So I feel like as soon as you turn away from that, then all of your hard work just goes down the drain because you have to start from zero.
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot because I'm human, I make
Of
mistakes.
course. Yeah. Yeah.
um so then this time being, I haven't really experienced fear because of all the momentum I had built up from months ago till right now.
Mm.
I feel like maybe if fear is to come, it's probably gonna be if I move out of my lane and I do something else, or I get distracted, or I take a day off because I see everybody taking a day off. So by me believing in the fact that momentum is very jealous is actually somehow blocking fear because I know what I'm doing and I know that what I'm doing is not going to be instantly paying off. It's actually going to be seen months down the road, later on.
See.
So, but that doesn't mean that I'm not around people who feel fear,
Correct. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, actually, on maybe 3 days ago, on my Snapchat, I have like a few people, and like the people on my Snapchat, they're like close friends and people that we go way back. So I just kind of posted there like, hey, so how are you guys doing? Like, like how are you guys feeling?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Mm-hmm.
but before I did that, I had to ask myself, okay, Gabby, are you gonna be okay with people pouring out their feelings to you,
Yeah.
even though it's
Yeah.
just through a reading? You're still going to be exchanging energy. So are you going to be okay with that?
Yes. Yes.
Then I was like, yeah, I'm going to be okay because I know that no one is asking these people like, hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And especially because these people are my people, they're my close friends and they're my
Mm-hmm.
relatives. So I want to make sure that if they're feeling anxious or excited or whatever it is, I want to be able to be there for them to pour out. So
Yes.
then, I got a mix of everything, but like the main things that I got is like, people feeling fear, feeling anxious, me asking them like, hey, can I give you advice or you just want me to listen? Like tell me.
Okay.
So so with that, when I was doing that, I was like, why don't I feel like that?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I feel anxious? Why don't I feel fear? Why don't I feel like this is really, really, really bad? Then I was thinking, well, the reason why you don't feel like that is because you know that everything you did before is paying off right now. And
Mm-hmm.
you know that you have to stay in your lane and you know that you obviously have to adapt,
Correct.
because I am adapting to whatever is going on and whatever the
Oh,
market's
definitely.
doing. I'm adapting.
Correct.
But I do feel that the main reason why I don't feel fear is just because of my engraved belief that momentum is jealous, and it's just in the back of my mind. So
Correct.
whenever I think about doing something else, it's like, no,
Yeah.
no, get back. Like you can't afford to do that.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
I can see why people feel fear, especially because the media.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I really like that.
So
I've never heard that before. So momentum is jealous, and I really like that because you explained it perfectly, and it's all based on the momentum you had a few months ago, that it's pretty much blinding you to even think of fear or feel it. But then you also
yeah.
use your empathy to reach out to those friends and make sure that they know that you understand that this could be fear-based, anxiety-based, and their actions might be because of fear. And
hmm
and you also mentioned the fact that you're very adaptable. So I think those, I just really like the way it's termed. The momentum is jealous. So I really like that.
I'm
Um,
totally gonna copyright that. I'm just
no,
kidding.
I know. I'll make sure that
I'm
I'll
kidding.
give I'll give you all credit to that one.
I'm
Um,
kidding.
I like it. I like it. But I want to ask you something actually based on that. So how did you learn that? How did you learn that the momentum, like, um, are you into reading? Do you sit down and self reflect? Where, because it had to come from somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
it's all of that. I'm into
yeah,
all of that.
awesome.
I tell Andy all the time, I had a conversation with myself 2 days ago, and this is what I was thinking. And he's just laughing, but like
Yeah.
he understands, and I mean, I'm sure you can understand too.
Yes.
I do. I don't remember where I heard it, where I read it, or if I saw it somewhere. I don't remember exactly how it came to me, or maybe someone told me. Um, but I can tell you that I do read. I do self-reflect a lot. Um, and sometimes I'm saying things and I'm like, how did I come up with this? And I'm pretty sure that's not original. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Definitely.
sure I read it somewhere. I wish I could tell you, like, hey, like I read this here, or someone
Yeah.
told me, or but I can't. I don't.
Kind
I
of
don't
just
really know where I got that from.
Yeah. No, no, definitely. Yeah, I wanted to ask because obviously at the end of the day you developed it and it's what's helping you to succeed in different parts of your life. You know what I mean? So that's all that matters at the end of the day. I just like
Yeah.
asking like where did it come from? Because even me, I'll look back sometimes like, why am I like this? Because that's kind of where I start. Why do I either fail in this part of my life, or why is it that I'm succeeding in this part of my life? And it's all
Yeah.
comes
Oh,
down
yeah.
to either
Mm,
upbringing, influence, exposure, right? So that's definitely the
right.
reason why I asked. So, and then
Yeah.
another thing actually, I wanted to ask was, what is something you kind of, maybe you're talking to your friends, what is one or two things you might suggest? I don't like the word advice because sometimes giving advice is subjective, because I
Especially
feel
when
like,
they don't request for it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So suggestions rather, that may be like really scared and anxious right now, or maybe they don't know how to utilize their time at home, or this, it's a lot of different changes going on in people's lives. What is one or two things you might want to suggest to someone near you?
Mm. Well, I can tell you what I tell pretty much anybody that requests my suggestions. And the main thing I tell them is that it all starts here
Hmm.
in our mind.
Hmm.
So the best way to start, kind of like shifting our mindset and getting into a mindset that's going to be able to withstand whatever comes your way, is by reading the right information, by reading the right books.
Hmm.
But then at the same time, to not expect things to happen from one day to the next. Because I feel like right now everything's so instantaneous that you want everything. Even I'm to blame for. I'm like, I want a six pack, but I can't expect a six pack right after one workout and one clean meal. But
Correct.
you know, but it like that's in our nature as human beings. Especially because we have been seeing this and we have been adapting to everything. It's like right now we're having this call. It's like instantaneous, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen the same way for you. I mean, the
Right.
saying that easy comes, easy goes. I always tell
Yes.
them, the saying easy comes,
Yeah.
easy goes. Well, this is not going to be easy to obtain, but
Mm.
that means it's not going to be easy to go either. So once you get it, like keep building on it, because it's going to be a lifetime. So
Definitely.
I just tell them, like, like just start focusing on your mind. And once you start focusing on your mind, don't expect you to be reading the magic of thinking big, and tomorrow you're like,
Yeah.
oh, my mindset just changed, because
Yeah.
it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I definitely agree. Well, I appreciate it. I think, like I said, I've learned a lot from you. Like, just right now, you
Yeah.
tell me, especially the momentum is jealous, and then the fact that things have to be practiced. I really, like you said, you can't just go read a book right now and expect that tomorrow morning you're gonna be changed, a different person.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah. Of
then I thank you for making it clear that you're a real estate professional and helping families.
course.
I like that. And then, but yeah, I want to appreciate your time and your intellect. I know you have a busy schedule. I know you're utilizing your time, taking advantage of these opportunities. I hope you're staying safe as well, and
Yeah.
you keep spreading your wisdom and professionalism to those around you. So thank you so much, Gabriela.
Of course. Thank you, Lise. Thank you for the space and the time. I
Of course.
appreciate it.
we'll talk soon, and we'll stay in communication.
Sounds good.
All right,
You
Gabriela,
can
have a
count
great
on it.
day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.